Lovers of grant, una well done. I welcome una again to my YouTube channel. Abeg make you subscribe if you never subscribe. Abeg make you subscribe. Now this message be say this man say he go out, he go do him findings. He begin dey ask question, dey ask all these ogas wey dey in charge of this grant question, and dem give am answer. I want make una pay at ten tion, make una hear the answer wey he get from all these people. No forget say the comment section dey open, make you talk your own. Abeg make you subscribe so that we go move forward together. Make una lis ten.
Good evening, Grand Ecosystem. Good evening, different subscribers of grants in Nigeria. Good evening, subscribers of slots, of pioneers, CBN projects, community development projects in Nigeria. Good evening to all grant handlers and coordinators of different stages and categories. I am your brother and friend, Reverend Moses from Abuja. Today is the 13th day of April 2025, and the time is 6:15. Some of us cannot be around, and then the community is being thwarted and being malign by misunderstanding and misinterpretation and trying to create chaos when there is no ground for the chaos. From at about 12:30 this afternoon, after church services, information began to filter in mentioning Comrade Andy Bright's address to Mrs. Ngozi Israel, who is the spearheading leader of the information of CBN slots and pioneer in the grand ecosystem. Of course, Mrs. Ngozi Israel have claimed time without number that she is not in UAAG, that she has a stakeholder which she is under, and her project is Pioneer Slot. That is clear in the sphere and in the compound of the grand ecosystem, which anybody who is in the system knows very well. Now are demanded to know and to get the write-up of Comrade Andy Bright and to analyze it very well and to give possible interpretation. In his paragraph 1, he addressed, "Good morning, Comrade Ngozi Israel. Happy Sunday. Today is 13 April 2025. This information is for your notification and for that of other front runners in the grant community." That is his paragraph 1. And I want to analyze that paragraph. That is an address meant for Ngozi Israel. But the information, the content of the information and notification is for her and other front runners in the grand community. So when I scrutinize that paragraph, the write-up was addressed to Ngozi Israel. Of course, she's the forerunner of the Pioneer Slots stroke CBN in the ecosystem. But Andy noted forerunners. In paragraph 2, he said, after this week, and there is no form of actual disbursement into the bank account of subscribers for the grant, we shall begin to shake the table, in bracket, disturb the forerunners, however that may be. It is important to ask Comrade Andy what kind of disturbing the forerunners. What do you mean by disturbance of the forerunners? If I'm correct by the write-up I am seeing, he did not say, I want to disturb Mrs. Ngozi Israel. He is not particular about the personality of Mrs. Ngozi Israel. And if you listen or if you read through the paragraph, you see we shall begin to shake the tables. Comrade Andy, it would have been good to note what do you mean by shake the table. Now, paragraph 3 say we, the subscribers for the grant, have waited and have tolerated more than enough in the hands of our grant handlers. We will not accept any reason for further delay in our grants disbursement. Comrade Andy have noted that the grant ecosystem have waited enough to continue to wait unnecessarily for any other excuse from grant handlers. Reading through the lines of this write-up, I don't know whether Comrade Andy feel threatened or we want to know whether there is a tactical delayance from grant handlers. In his paragraph 4, he says, it has been established that all stakeholders have received their disbursement as at this past week. The next and final level of disbursement is therefore for the masses who subscribe through those various stakeholders. Nothing shall stop the downslope disbursement as from this week. We will begin the trouble if this level of disbursement fails this week. Now, in this paragraph, he re-emphasized the problem or the trouble we, in quote, will want to cause in the grant ecosystem with a conditional clause. If this level of disbursement fail this week, meaning from today till Saturday being the 19th of April, they will begin the trouble. It is good to know that we would have wanted Andy to throw more light on what kind of trouble he was going to cause, although not to a particular individual now, but to all the forerunners. So the threat is not to Mrs. Ngozi Israel. The threat is to the forerunners or the grant handlers whom Comrade Andy have received what they were supposed to receive, and that there should be no tactical delays in the disbursement of the grant in Nigeria to the subscribing masses for their rest. Lastly, say I have just spoken the minds of all subscribers in the grant community, including you forerunners. Well, I know very well that is a passive statement, because he might not know the heart and the mind of all subscribers and the forerunners. Some of the forerunners are marketers of slots, and I have enjoyed the process of their sales. Therefore, he cannot be speaking the minds of all the people who have subscribed the grant in the grant community. Lastly, say enough of the docility and the praise singing in the mind in the midst of nothing. Well, of course, we know very well that we've been stagnant in the system, and the system needs to be moved so that there will be sanity in it. Also, in response to this, you see, when a write-up is not understood, the misinterpretation could form something. Andy emphasized shake the table and cause trouble to forerunners. If the conditional clause, if the disbursement to subscriber do not happen this week, my friend who has no name, who said that we should give up to this week for disbursement to subscribers and that all protests should be slammed, said that disbursement will happen on between Tuesday and Thursday. Of course, we all know that Friday and Monday next week will be public holiday. That is Good Friday and Holy Monday holidays. Therefore, he's saying that the ecosystem should endure Tuesday and Thursday, that disbursement must happen. Now, the clause or the phrase protest, I don't know whether it is emanating from the write-up of Mr. Andy, and that if Mr. Andy have actually meant for protest, you see, the darkness in the trouble he was going to cause, as per his write-up, is suggestive that he could cause trouble. What people were supposed to ask him before going to the air to make voice note that is suggesting there could be protest is, what kind of trouble do you want to make? File a case against them, call them to book, make a protest, go to their offices, call elders to discuss with them, make noise on social media. These are different kind of noises or trouble that can be caused to grand handlers or foreigners in the grand community. But with a close, if disbursement did not happen this week. Now, I also listened to my friend, the eminent Arch Cardinal, Professor Ambassador Miracle Chinemerim Onyemechi, who also called for calm, for protest. You see, these two voice notes are coming out in assumption of what Mr. Andy Bright has said. I don't think Mr. Andy Bright means protest or mayhem or commotion or chaos in the grand ecosystem by saying he is going to cause trouble. Of course, the term trouble, as I have said, is relative and it's not defined. What kind of trouble? But I want to diffuse the minds of the grand ecosystem that Comrade Andy Bright does not mean harm by his words. It's just that his words are embedded and too coded for our understanding. My problem with those who made the voice note is that I don't know whether they were able to call Andy Bright and question him on what he meant by that before coming to the air to call for protest, or there should be no protest. As far as I'm concerned, the two voice notes that went viral that I have to hear are the ones calling for protest, because there was nothing like protest in Andy's write-up. You see, I've made a voice note some time ago and I said, if somebody insults a king and the king is not there, and you who were there when the insult was made went to tell the king, you are the one who insulted the king and not the person who originated that insult. Can we, elders, reverend bishops, eminents in grand ecosystem, quote Mr. Andy well so that we can diffuse the tension that we have created as a result of mentioning protest? You see, protest in Nigeria is known. When you call protest, so many signals come to our memories. So many things, so many pictures are created. As elders in grand ecosystem, we should learn to use the appropriate words. And before we could come up on air, we should make our investigation very well. Call the person that is involved and then discuss with him. And then if it is something you can put a stop before coming to the air. I want to, at this juncture, encourage the grand ecosystem that Comrade Andy Bright did not mean protest, because I have to put several calls across to him. Despite the fact that the network was bad, I was able to hear him out. I was able to hear his reasons. His reasons are not negative. I want to address Mrs. Ngozi Israel. Mrs. Ngozi Israel, to the best of my knowledge and the peace process I've tried to initiate through by hearing Mr. Andy Bright, I've tried to call you, but your number is not connecting. Mr. Andy Bright did not mean any harm to you specifically. Neither is he running a threat to the system. He is trying to ginger, stimulate, motivate, and cause the forerunners to do the needful immediately we get into the working week. Looking at the week ahead is a public holiday. I have discussed with him and I've understand him, and I want to put it to you, Mrs. Ngozi Israel, calm down. Do not blow the write-up of Mr. Andy beyond proportion. Let there be peace and let there be calm in the system. I appreciate all of you. I know that the week we're entering is a week of a miracle. It's a week of disbursement, especially the pioneering slots. The pioneering slot is actually called the Community Development Project Funds. So that is what we should be expecting this week as we're entering. And I wish that the ecosystem will be calm, without prejudice and without problem. I appreciate Mrs. Ngozi Israel's patience. I know it's not easy. You've been a front runner of the pioneering system in the grand ecosystem, and God has helped you this far. I know you are tensed, and every slight thing could cause the tension in the ecosystem. Therefore, I'm begging you, Mrs. Ngozi Israel, do not take it personal and do not feel Mr. Andy Bright will want to hurt you or deform your character or cause harm to you. I have called him and I have discussed with him, and I believe even if he has a way of causing mayhem, I have advised him to lay down his sword. And you too, I'm also advising you as a mother, as a front runner, lay down your sword and let there be peace. My elders who make a voice note, please, we should try to avoid the word protest because it carries a connotation of chaos and problem, despite the fact that it is our civil responsibility to protest when we want to, legally. Thank you, Grand Ecosystem, as we await our celebration this week. As an elder and a reverend in the ecosystem, I won't be here when there is chaos, and I do not wave in to bring solution. Thank you, Mrs. Ngozi Israel. Thank you, Comrade Andy Bright. I know that when you hear this voice note this evening, your mind should calm down. Do not blow whatever has happened beyond proportion. Let there be peace as we enter into this week of our progress and prosperity. Finally, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate our father in the system, the man of the people, the man with a golden heart, the man whose heart is bigger than his stomach. No one else but Professor Apostle Ken Wakama, whom God has ordained in our end time to bring succor and peace and progress to Nigeria and Africa at large. Man of God, God bless you. I appreciate your grace. I appreciate your heart. I appreciate what you've done to bring blessings to Nigeria and to the poor masses. I want to appreciate all supporters of Apostle Professor Ken Wankama. I want to use this opportunity to condole with our brother Major Tom Yahya Daku, JP, PhD, retired, for the demise of his sister 3 or 4 days ago. May the Lord grant you the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss. God bless the grand ecosystem this evening. God bless some of our people who are there to give us information. Mr. IT Osim, Mr. Kendra Investment, Brenda, two numerous comrades in the system who have stood firm. My mother, Chief Mrs. I appreciate all of you for it. God bless you all. Amen. Good evening. I remain your brother and friend, Reverend Moses from Abuja. Good evening.